Waiting to go live.
Well, the other one's still there.
Let's see here.
The theme song played, so just so you know.
We're live and we're recording. I don't see it on here. I don't see it on here.
It's still there, but we've got this other one going now. So are you gonna play the theme?
No, I'm not going to play the theme.
You did on the other one, which is still up, and that's what I'm watching right now.
Want me to play the theme?
I don't care. I'm really just done.
Oh, shit. Here, I'll play the theme just to make you happy.
Play the old theme then.
Here we go.
This is the Evil Never Dies podcast with Brett and Carl. This podcast may contain adult themes, violence, and strong language. Listener discretion is advised.
There, I played the theme.
I'm still looking at the old feed, apparently. Yeah, I'm still on the other feed. I don't know how to get off of it or how to get rid of it.
I don't either. I don't see anybody anyway coming in here.
I'm
Where
still
do I go? Shorts. Let's see here. Live. Delete. There, it's gone. Sorry if there's confusion. I'm confused tonight. It's been a bad week, Carl.
It has.
Bad week. All the way around.
What's so bad?
Every fucking day shit's happened. And the big one was Ozzy fucking died, dude. Who would have thought?
Well, as you know, apparently me,
Well, yeah,
because
you kept saying.
I kept, yeah. Lisa was in the hospital last week, which is why I had no energy for the show, which I still apologize for that, but did the best I could. But I was cleaning the house, and the entire day I was watching all my Ozzy Osbourne DVDs as I cleaned. A lot of them from the 80s, and I just kept on and on and on. I just couldn't get it. Then I moved to Black Sabbath with Ozzy, and I even told myself, you can't watch anything with Dio. It's got to just be Ozzy. And then, like 2 days later, he passed away. So I don't know if I was being psychic or if I just had a feeling or what. But yeah, I mean, I've been sort of celebrating Ozzy before it happened. It's really creepy in a way.
Well, when
And
I
you're my
came down,
witness. Remember, I told you I've been watching the Ozzy, and you even asked, not any Randy. I'm like, I
yeah.
don't have any Randy. So you're my witness. I'm not making this story up.
Well, when we watched the thing, we kept saying, "Man, you know, it's eventually coming," but you could just tell by looking at him, man, that he was just done.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know, man. It's just crazy. I mean, for the heavy metal community, it's just really I don't know if anybody dying would hit this hard. And again, he had Parkinson's, he had all these ailments from his neck surgeries, back surgeries. I
Yeah.
think all the surgeries caused blood clots, and he was just not in good shape. But don't think anybody was ready at this point.
Yeah. Not even 3 weeks later, you know.
But I don't know. He got to go out on top and he did. How many people get to go out like that?
Not many.
No, on their own terms.
Not that I can think of anybody.
I don't know of anybody. I mean, in the
No.
heavy metal world, there's really Zeppelin and Sabbath were the godfathers and Deep Purple. But hell, Zeppelin went out because Bono died and was it in a hotel room, and that was the end of the band.
Yeah.
Sabbath lasted 50 something years.
I
So
know, right?
it's just an amazing story that he got to finish his career the way he did.
Yeah. It was when you texted me and told me, I was like, what? No fucking way.
Well,
I
I'm gonna have to
fucking,
give props to my coworker Olivia. She apparently saw it the second it happened, and said, "Oh my God, Ozzy died," and I'm like, "What?" So I immediately started getting it. I couldn't find it anywhere, so I finally
well,
went to Ozzy's Facebook, and there it was. So
well,
she broke it. I don't know how she got it. My coworker broke the news.
that's crazy.
It wasn't on anything yet. I already
But
had my little obituary typed up and posted, and Brett's like, "Did you put that on Jet, whatever you call it, Chat GPT?" I'm like, "No, I wrote it real quick, sitting in my desk."
yeah, that was a good post.
Yeah,
There's Christine. She's in the room. She's in the chat.
hello.
What's up, girly?
But like I said, it was just so weird that I'd been listening to Ozzy and watching all those DVDs. I felt like it just, I don't not saying I'm psychic. It's just really, really odd,
Well,
that
I think everybody's had since that concert. I think everybody's had it in the back of their head that it was going to happen,
I'm sure that's exactly what it is.
and he just want. The thing is, he just wanted to get up so bad and stand up.
That's what Iommi said. I've been watching a lot of stuff with Iommi,
You
and
could
he
you could
said,
tell he had his hands on the thing like he was trying.
"Yeah, remember I kept telling you, I said, well, maybe he's just trying to adjust himself." But Iommi said he was definitely trying to get up.
Well, I think they had him strapped into that
I
thing
don't know
too.
if he was strapped in it or not, but Iommi said he definitely wanted to get up, and he was right there with him, so he would know. And we were like at the end of it, like, look, they just left him on stage. Well, it was because of the stupid live stream. Geezer Butler went and got a cake.
Yep.
He
Yeah,
went off somewhere, and then they came out together. They said they sort of want to give him a moment with the fans by himself, and that's why they kind of disappeared to go get the cake and various things. But the live stream just cut it with him like looked like he was just abandoned. That was really sad.
yeah, I
That's
know.
not what happened.
We kept saying, why the hell did they leave him out there?
Well, they were giving him a moment, but the live stream cut off before they could finish the whole thing.
Yeah, they like panned out from him, and it was still like there was still fog and shit on the stage, and
Yeah,
you could see him turning and yelling something like, "Come get me out of this fucking chair" or something.
everybody's tried to read his lips, and nobody could figure out exactly what he was saying. Um,
We, well, when he talks, you can hardly hear what he was saying anyway, let alone reading lips from the guy. Come
yeah.
on.
Well, I'm just saying people tried to figure out, what the deal was.
Yeah,
I can't get the chat to come up at all. I've been sitting here playing with it and it just shows blank on my end. So I don't know.
that's weird.
You can do the chatting, I guess. I think I just fixed it. I wouldn't.
Yeah, I up my font so I can read it a little better now.
I've got it to work now, it looks like. Yeah, I do. Sorry about that. This has been a very unplanned thing. We just, like I said, it was my idea to go on and just talk about this because I don't know how doing a show about heavy metal that we could not come on and mention this. I mean, shit,
Exactly.
we're doing a tribute to Jack Russell, and no offense to Jack Russell, but fuck, Ozzy's Ozzy. And I haven't heard anybody except for Alex Jones say anything bad about Ozzy. Not a soul.
No,
And I was talking to one of my coworkers who, they knew who Ozzy was. And I'm like, for me, being a metalhead for most of my life now, it's sort of foreign because, of course, for our community, it's a tragic loss, but it just amazes me how the general public are so, like they were, you know, not upset, but just shocked and sad about Ozzy. And I don't know if it's just he did that dumb TV show with his kids and Sharon, or he
that's
just,
probably a lot to do with it, where people know him from, for
yeah.
sure.
Because I mean, with our community, of course, is there anybody more iconic than Ozzy that's ever been in the heavy metal world?
No,
I don't think so. I mean,
not at all.
maybe Gene would be the closest.
Yep, yep.
You
And
can't compare Dickinson and Rob Halford, and fuck, nobody knows who they are. If I'm talking about just the general public.
yep,
I even
exactly.
asked old Paul, I said, well, can you name the other the other three members of Black Sabbath? He's like, no, I don't know who they are. And that's what I'm saying.
Yep.
The outside heavy metal community that just embraced Ozzy with a passion. So,
Well, what's there not to love, man? He was fucking awesome.
oh, what's there to not like? I mean, he was an asshole in many aspects. He almost killed Sharon several times. He wasn't perfect. He had his flaws.
And he admits every one of
He
them
did.
too,
But I'm just saying, we sort of put him on a pedestal, but he definitely, was he had his flaws too.
Well, you do fucked up shit sometimes when you're on drugs. I've
There.
done some
Sure,
fucked up
Phil.
shit.
I'm just saying, nobody, the the press and the media have covered him in a really good way. I saw somebody complaining that the media wasn't covering this right. I'm like, well, what else are they supposed to do? I thought they covered it great.
Well, I was surprised that they even gave it as much coverage as they did. I was sort of
Yeah,
proud of the mainstream media.
yeah. And they didn't bring up the negatives. I don't know if a lot of them are even aware of the bad.
Exactly. Christine says that he was a Pomeranian lover too.
Yeah, I have no idea about any of that.
They have had numerous dogs. Or
I,
have
I will
numerous
say
dogs.
right now, I never watched one episode of that TV show.
Oh,
I, ne-
really?
I never watched one episode of the Family Jewels Jeans show. Had no interest in that stuff.
Well, I got every season for the Osbournes on DVD.
I
If you
never
want
watched one episode. I had no interest in it.
to, okay.
That's not the Ozzy that I was interested in. I was interested in the real Ozzy.
It was just funny as shit, dude. Some of the crazy shit they did.
I don't know. I never watched it. I just didn't have any interest in it.
Yeah,
The
what the
Jeans
whole.
show, I may have watched a couple episodes, but it's same thing. But honestly, yeah, they're just, I don't know. I don't really have the words as far as how to describe the whole situation. Just yeah, they're just this guy was the icon of the heavy metal world.
When was the first time you seen Ozzy, Carl?
As far as seeing him like just in general or in
Live,
concert, what do you
live
mean?
in concert.
It would have been probably, I would guess, the No Rest for the Wicked tour because the Ultimate Sin tour was in '86, so I wouldn't have seen that one. Plus, I would have remembered it because Metallica opened. So it'd have been No Rest for the Wicked, which would have been '88 or '89,
Yeah, I actually got to see him on the Diary of a Madman tour. What was that, 82?
something like that.
It was like a couple of days after my birthday, and somebody had an extra ticket and I just decided to go. You know, I was like, fuck yeah, I'll fucking go. And yeah, it was fucking awesome. Hanging midgets and shit.
That when he had Ronnie on tour with him, the midget.
Yeah. In the jester's outfit or whatever. It was crazy, man.
Well, that was Ozzy during his probably his craziest moments, I would have assumed
Yeah.
too. I mean, again, and I'm not going to bring up the negatives, but there is a lot of negatives there, like the way he treated his band, you know, and I've seen this many times. If Randy Rhoads had not have died, he was going to quit the band. That was pretty much a done deal. There was a lot of heat over that doing the Speak of the Devil live album. Randy didn't want to do it. Rudy Cesar didn't want to do it, and nor did I think Tommy Aldridge was the drummer. They just thought that it was going backwards, and they were on such a good path, and it caused a lot of shit. And then when poor Randy did pass away, I forgot who they had before. I forget the name of the
Brad Gillis.
no before Brad Gillis,
Oh.
Bernie Termaine, something like that.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
Brad Gillis, Rudy, and Tommy Aldridge said they showed up for the rehearsals for that album, and Sharon said Ozzy won't be here, so y'all gonna have to rehearse on your own. And they're like, "This is fucked up." Like what the hell? And that's when they were starting to plan on Brad Gillis going back to Night Ranger, Rudy going back to Quiet Riot, and Tommy, I guess, going to Whitesnake. Is that where he may have
I think so, yeah.
may have been? He might have had a pit stop before that. Um, and they said Ozzy showed up finally for the rehearsal after they'd been practicing, and he was totally bald. He'd gotten drunk and shaved his head.
Yep.
So they were like, "This is just bizarre." So they pulled that record off, and Brad Gillis kicked ass on it. Unfortunately, he decided that he didn't think he could work with Ozzy and Sharon, so he left. Rudy left, and Tommy Aldridge left, he'd already left once. That's when they brought in what's his face, Carmine RP, Peace, whatever the hell he wants to call himself, and that didn't work out either. So loved the man to death, but he definitely was hard to work with during that time.
Yeah, he was known to cancel concerts too.
Yeah,
He canceled a few on me, man, when I had tickets for
I've
him.
I've had a few canceled on me. I think I remember the worst one I ever saw. It was after Zach had left, and they brought in that Joe Holmes from Lizzie Borden. I think that one had gotten canceled, and they rescheduled it. And when it was rescheduled, is when Ozzy was sick and throwing up everywhere. So
Well, that Speak of the Devil tour that I think they toured on that too.
they did, and look right here. I actually have
And
props. Let's look at that thing right there.
yep.
That is a Speak of the Devil DVD. I think it's a DVD. Yeah, but it's not the album. This is actually the tour.
Oh,
The
okay.
actual
So it's
Speak of the Devil
live.
tour. Yeah, it's got Over the Mountain, Mr. Crowley, Crazy Train, so and so, so on and so on. A really good show too. Again, Brad Gillis, just man, um, they dropped the ball not keeping him around.
Yeah, no shit. He's a good guitarist,
I
man.
mean, I'm sure he was glad to be back in Night Ranger, but he did a really good job.
Well, that tour we camped out for 4 days in the fucking beginning of February for tickets for that fucking concert.
Wow.
And it was freezing, dude. Camping out in front of the Peoria Civic Center.
So was Brad Gillis on guitar for that one?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Because somebody came in after Brad Gillis left, I think, maybe before Jake. And George Lynch was in the run-in to actually replace well, I guess they'd have been replacing Randy. The other guys were just there temporarily. And Jakey Lee was in the running to be Dio's guitar player. It's funny how the world works out on things.
Yeah, this is Ronnie hit me very hard too, but not as hard as Ozzy going, man. For
Ronnie,
sure.
I didn't see coming. I guess I did because he had cancer. Let me take that back. I don't know because Iommi had lymphoma and he survived.
Yeah.
And it
Well,
looked like it was getting bad for that because if you remember, there were some Black Sabbath dates that got canceled and was replaced by quote Ozzy and friends
well,
because Tony couldn't
Ronnie wouldn't, he was hurting for months and months and months and wouldn't go to the doctor.
go to the doctor. He could have prevented it, I'm
He
sure.
could probably, yeah, he probably, because I seen interviews where he was doubled over, you know, but he'd get up and do the show, then he'd get off stage and he'd be doubled over again.
I know Geezer Butler and Tony both told him he needed to go get checked.
Yep.
At the time he did, it was too late.
Yep.
Yeah, Ronnie dying hit me pretty hard, but this is different. I mean, I love Dio. Dio's probably one of my favorite, if not my favorite, heavy metal singers in the world or of
Yeah.
all
Same
time. I
here.
can't really put it into words, but Ozzy was just something, man.
Just something about him.
I need to go through my drawers in there where I keep my really special stuff because I think I've got a Bark at the Moon tour book. So I need to go do some searching.
That's one of the tours that he canceled on us.
Oh, was it?
And then I think No Rest for the Wicked was the,
I think I was a part of that cancellation and they redid it. I know that the whatever album was it, Osmosis? I don't know. It was after Zach had left and they brought in that Joe Holmes guy. That one got canceled, but it was rescheduled and he was still in bad shape. After that, I don't know how many more times I saw Ozzy in concert. It wasn't a whole lot.
me neither. Well, at Ozfest, I seen him the one time.
I was never a big fan of the Ozfest stuff. I never was. I just, for one thing,
I went to the free one. Remember the free one?
no.
2007.
Was it
We
in
could just,
Frisco?
huh?
Was it the one in Frisco?
I don't know. I went to the one in Chicago. I wasn't living here then. It was
They had
2007.
one year. They only had one of them, and it was in Frisco, and it was right after Daryl had died, I believe. And they did like a Daryl tribute, and it was weird. It was like a show only thing. I think I remember something about the free one. I
I seen this was up in Chicago at Tinley Park,
I
and
didn't go to many Ozfest. I went to several, but it was not my thing. I just didn't care for the scene. You know, just a bunch of bullshit involved in a lot of the Ozfest. I think I saw the one with Judas Priest, where that was Rob Halford's first show back. I didn't go to the one where Maiden was playing because I don't think Maiden was playing by the time they got to Dallas. But I saw a couple of them over
yeah,
the
then they quit because they had a fucking,
Bruce got in
yeah,
Sharon Osbourne, yeah.
they kept turning off their sound and shit during the middle of the concert or whatever.
Yeah, yeah. And I think that was just
Oh, Sharon, man, she can be ruthless, dude.
well, Bruce can be ruthless too.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh shit. But yeah, the free Ozfest, man. I had like you could just print them off the website, as many tickets as you wanted.
yeah, I remember something about that. I don't remember. I think I'd sort of lost interest in the whole thing by then.
Well, that was cool because you could go out, you could leave the area and go back out to your car and do whatever, get more beer or whatever, drink a few beers out there in between shows. Then you'd
Yeah,
have another
I don't
ticket to
know.
get back in.
I think I saw one that Black Sabbath played on, but I was not a big fan of the Ozfest scenario. I liked it when Ozzy was just touring arenas with really good opening bands.
And that show they ended up calling that Sod Fest too, because it's sort of set up like the Fair Park down there, whatever they call that now.
Starplex, I don't know what they call it down.
Yeah, the Starplex. It's that type of deal. Well, people were ripping the fucking sod off the lawn and throwing it, and they were filling like beer cans and shit with it and pitching it and shit.
People are idiots. That's the thing, and The 90s were the biggest pile of idiots there were. And I think that was part of it. That's probably why Ozzy stayed relevant, because he was touring with all the new bands at that point. You know, you didn't see any of the 80s guys with him anymore. There's all these newer bands. Yeah, he did have Priest on the one, and they had Maiden, but it was mostly, a lot of the heavier bands and stuff.
Yeah,
I
that
think that might
second
have been,
stage, that Jägermeister stage, you'd have, like, I seen Devil Driver,
yeah,
and
bands like that.
uh, that's where a lot of bands got their big break too, is Ozfest. Yeah, you've heard OTEP before, haven't you?
Oh yeah,
They played Ozfest before they even had a record out, before they even had a record deal. They played on Ozfest.
I'm kind of sitting back. My back's been hurting me, so hopefully I'm still on camera here.
Yeah, my knee's still fucking with me.
Lower that camera a bit. That's better. Yeah, but let's see. I pulled out all of my and here's another thing I didn't know. Did you know this, Brett? The Speak of the Devil CD is out of print and you can't find it anywhere.
Really?
It's gone. No
I wonder
longer
if
in
I
print.
wonder if I got it.
If you do, you got some money. I was going through some of my old CDs and I've got a couple that are out of print. This thing here came out during the No Rest for the Wicked tour, and it was called Just Say Ozzy.
Okay, yeah.
It
Yeah.
has that's when Geezer Butler had joined the Ozzy Osbourne band, and I actually got two different CDs of it. I've got
Wow.
the remaster and the original, and I always loved this little EP. It has Miracle Man, Bloodbath in Paradise, a good version of Shot in the Dark, Tattoo Dancer, Sweet Leaf, and War Pigs.
Huh.
Again, it's out of print. This is, you cannot find this. I'm sure this CD is worth a lot of money, and I've got two of them here. So
Damn.
I don't think you can find this thing anymore. It was a compilation called The Ozman Cometh that came out a few years back. It had some good different mixes and some rarities on it. So they had this limited collector's edition called the Ten Commandments that came out once upon a time. It had actually sort of a greatest hits album that CBS put out. It had Flying High Again, Crazy Train, Diary of a Madman, Shot in the Dark. Uh, it's a good little. Again, a lot of this stuff is gone. So
Wasn't that Just Say Ozzy? Wasn't that like a Walmart only
no,
type thing or something?
it was not.
Okay.
It was a full-fledged release. Let's just look at the book of this thing here. Now this has got all kinds of fancy stuff in it. You could order stuff from Ozzy. No, this was an actual release. It just got. There's a lot of rumors I've heard that anything that had Shot in the Dark featured on it got pulled because of that not Rudy, that Phil Serson or whatever, the bass player, had wrote Shot in the Dark, and they didn't want to pay him royalties, so they just shit canned everything. Don't know if that's
Really?
true or not, but that obviously isn't the reason why the Speak of the Devil got pulled. They just supposedly Ozzy didn't like that, and they just took it off the shelves. It's gone.
Huh.
Um, not as rare, but there's the tribute album to Randy Rhoads they did. One of the fucking best album covers ever. I think
Oh
that
yeah,
picture. I
no.
would like to actually have that picture and put it on the wall. Um, it was the basically the last recordings of Randy Rhoads. Um, it looks like I've got the remaster of it as well. I don't know if this is on iTunes or not. It probably might be, but that's just a few of my rare CDs I've been pulled out looking at, kind of like in awe that I've kept all this stuff all these years. If you got Speak of the Devil, you need to find it.
I think I do got it somewhere. I think I had it on vinyl, maybe.
That would be cool.
Oh, I ain't got that no more for sure.
So then I got the Ultimate Ozzy from 1986 concert, which was my favorite thing as a kid to watch on videotape. I've still got the VHS of it. I can't talk tonight. I'm talking too quick. But I was watching the DVD. The picture looks like shit. The sound is fucking excellent. Very good. And I got another live and loud, which they recorded on the I think it was the No
Yeah,
More
I
Tears
got
tour.
that. Is that with the mesh steel cover?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got that.
And then this tidbit here is called Memoirs of a Madman. I don't even remember buying this thing, but it's really cool because it's got an entire disc of live performances, including stuff with Randy Rhoads. You know, he was asking me, I found it. I found some Randy stuff. All the way from 81 to when did they end this thing? 2010. It's covers Ozzy's entire career of
That's a
live.
CD or a DVD?
It's a DVD. It's a DVD, and it's also got the music videos, except for "Shot in the Dark" is not included. So there must
Oh,
be something to that they pulled everything because of that Phil Susan guy. I don't know. I don't understand how Sharon Osbourne thinks. But that's just a few of my semi rarer items of Ozzy's I still got. Just thought that'd be kind of a fun thing to look at as we remember the great one. I guess he's the great one. I think that's actually Dwayne Johnson's nickname. But I'm gonna call Ozzy the great one. Yeah, like
yeah.
I said, I haven't seen any of the mainstream media talk bad about him or bring up any of the negatives like I did, but I was doing it just to make a point that people love Ozzy. They just sort of forgive him for all of his dumb stuff. You know, San Antonio praised him after he peed on the Alamo and got banned all those years.
Yep.
He was just sort of a lovable guy, you know? It just to the whole world.
Has your Facebook feed been inundated with like merch shops and
Our
shit with
Facebook
Ozzy
has been
shit?
Ozzy for since he passed. And yeah, I've seen a lot of merchandise,
Yeah, every day.
but
On a
I'm
couple
not
of
trying
my
to.
on a couple of them I put in the comments, did Sharon Osbourne sign off on this?
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
like,
My whole Facebook was Ozzy until Hogan died, and now Hogan's starting to take over my Facebook. I don't really want to say much about Hulk Hogan. I mean, I'm a big wrestling fan, and I mean, I respect what Hulk Hogan was, but I was never a big fan of the guy, and I don't want to talk good about. I'm not one of these people that cry when somebody dies if I'm mean to him in real life. So, you know, sorry that Hogan passed away, and feel bad for all of his family and friends and fans.
so you weren't a Hulkamaniac,
No,
huh?
it's not. And we had Malcolm Jamar Warner from the Cosby Show pass away.
Yeah,
Drowned.
some other it was Sunday. I forget who the hell she was. Not Patsy Cline.
Patsy Cline's been dead for 50 years,
Yeah, I know. They're
maybe 60.
similar type of singer. I forget her name, but she died Sunday. Then Malcolm Jamal Warner Monday, which I was never a big fan of the Cosby Show. So
I know that's weird. I'm not a big fan of Hulk Hogan. You're not a big fan of the Cosby Show. That was like my
maybe,
favorite show as a kid.
well, I think it was on like Friday nights, and I was never home on Friday nights back then. Come on. So
Then the
yeah,
guy, the who was it from the band that did Radar Love? I can't remember who they are.
Radar Love, Golden Earring.
Yeah, their lead singer died.
Oh, really?
Hey, yeah, he had like Lou Gehrig's disease and been sick for a long time.
Oh,
I
and
think they also,
Chuck Mangione too.
and that's who I was
I used
about
to
to mention.
listen to that shit all the time when in the back in the mid 70s, dude. That was on the radio all the time.
Christine said her song was Where the Boys Are."
Connie Francis, that's it. Yeah.
I don't even I don't even remember who she is, and grew up in the country scene. If that's what she was, don't know her.
I don't think she was country, was she?
I don't know, dude. I don't even know who she is. I mean, I feel stupid for not knowing who the guy from I think they also sung Twilight Zone, didn't they?
Yep, yep.
I mean, I'm just going to show my glam metal bits, and I'll remember Radar Love from being a White Lion cover song more. So there you go. So we've had a lot of celebrities pass away this week. It's fucking insane.
One every day, it seems like,
Yeah.
since Sunday.
Now the Hulk thing doesn't surprise me because Bubba the Love Sponge, I don't know if you've ever heard of him or not. He was a DJ that got sort of like a Howard Stern type, nationally syndicated. Well, in Tampa, he was like the king. He was sort of the Russ Martin of the Tampa area. Then he got bigger, but Terry, aka Hogan, lived in Tampa, and they were buddies, big time buddies. It was like they were best friends, got along great. Well, somehow, Bubba the Love Sponge convinced Hulk Hogan to have sex with his wife, and he videotaped it and sold it to the internet. And
Oh
that was a
yeah.
big scandal, and they were no longer friends. Long
And
story short,
and Hulk sued them
Hulk
that
sued
people that
and won.
distributed it.
Long story short, about 3 weeks ago, Bubba the Love Sponge had announced that Hogan had a bad neck surgery and he was near death. Well, the Hogan camp immediately came out and said, "No, that guy don't know what he's talking about. Terry's fine. There's nothing wrong with him." Well, now he's gone, so maybe Bubba the Love Sponge had some information that wasn't supposed to get out. Rumor has it he passed from a heart attack, heart failure.
Probably induced from opioids. You
I,
know he was fucking on opioids for the pain.
I don't know. I mean, he's had a rough go the last few years, but he stayed very public. He was doing his Real American Beer. Um, he made the wrestling element of the wrestling fans upset over his political affiliations with Donald Trump. He was a very big
Yeah.
supporter, and I'm sure he's probably known Donald Trump since the '80s because the WWE ran several WrestleManias out of the Trump Tower, whatever that place was called, in Atlantic City. But Hogan was very open about his political beliefs, and everybody has the right to do that. But it sure cost him a lot of damage in the wrestling community. He was actually booed out of the Los Angeles. I forget the name of that new arena in LA. They
Oh,
booed him out of there,
really?
and it was all because they didn't agree with his political situation. But I thought it was sort of disrespectful that you got an icon like this and you boo him out of the arena. And now he's passed away, so his last memory in a WWE arena was being booed by the fans. But again, we're not making this about Hogan, but he wasn't a Ozzy. Everybody loved uh, Hollywood Hulk Hogan. A lot of people did not. He made a lot of people upset over the years. So, bit of a
Yeah.
difference. And Ozzy definitely was not a saint. Like I said, I already brought up some of his bads, and I'm not doing it to disparage him. I mean, Ozzy will tell you right now, I was a fucking idiot. I've heard him say that.
Yep.
So here's you a surprise. I actually ordered me some Ozzy stuff before all this happened.
Really?
And we're going to look and see exactly what's in this box, Brett. You want to make a guess what I had
An
ordered?
awful big box. I bet if it's a Funko Pop.
No. Ta-da!
Oh,
The
cool.
Ultimate Sin. We may have to, now that I was going to put this somewhere else, I may have to mount it up here somewhere. We'll just put it there for now. How's that?
That looks cool.
Yeah, I'd ordered that a couple weeks ago because that's really one of my light's going to shine on it. I'll have to put it in a better spot, but that's one of my favorite album covers of all time right
I
there.
know. The butt on that girl.
Isn't that the truth? Thank you for your business. Customer service is our most important thing. Well, I appreciate whoever the hell sold me that. Um,
That's the only thing that was in the box.
that's all it was my sign.
Oh,
Um,
is it a tin sign?
yeah, it's 10.
Oh, cool.
We'll get a better
That's a
look at
that's a
it here.
big that's a big one.
It is, yeah. And you can see that butt too good
Yeah,
there.
I may have touched my time or two to that picture
Well,
back in
the
the
cool
day.
part was on that ultimate tour, whatever the video was, they got a girl that's supposed to be her in the whole thing.
Oh, on the video.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Remember, he did several videos from Ultimate Sin. One of them, it was for Ultimate Sin, the song, and he's playing like a J.R. Ewing type, real silly, real corny stuff. That was Ozzy at his corniest. He had blonde, permed hair. He wore
yeah,
sequins and feathers. He definitely embraced the glam scene during that time.
yeah.
But I loved it. I ate that shit up as a kid. I was just this was absolutely my God. That was just so into this whole Ozzy thing during that time. Um, what
And
else?
that's a good fucking album too, man.
Well, as a kid, it was my favorite album when it came out by far. I just am so mad that I was not yet into the metal scene that I missed that concert. I think they came to Fort Worth at the convention center, but it was like in early 86 and I just wasn't going to concerts yet. But I do remember the next day, I was in middle school then. Everybody in that middle school had an Ultimate Sin t-shirt on and I was so jealous. And I'm like, "You know what? I'm gonna figure out how to get to these concerts."
I hated that in high school too, man. Go to school, concert you couldn't go to, then everybody comes with their concert shirts on, and you're like, fuck,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
a cool fucking shirt.
I don't think I could have pulled off getting to that one. I was just maybe a year. If it had been in 87, I would have been there, but
And back in them days, shit, shirts were only $15 for, you
they
know.
were cheap. Yeah. Yeah. I finally ended up getting one from somebody. I don't know exactly who, but yeah, that just again, Ozzy's been on my brain, man. I ordered me an Ozzy sign a few weeks ago, and it took it a while to get here. I think that came from England, but
Oh shit.
I might have, like I said, now that Ozzy's passed and left us, I may have to make this a fixture of the podcast. I just might have to. You know, I've been wanting to redo the
I
studio.
got my Sabbath there, so
I
that
love that poster. Yeah, we haven't really got into Sabbath so far. You know, I saw quotes from Tony Geezer and Bill Ward, very good quotes. Tony did some TV interviews, and he said he's just totally shocked. He said, you know, he knew he was sick, but he said he didn't seem like he was that's, you know, like gonna die sick.
I think he's sick of the pain, man. Honestly, I think he was sick of being in pain.
Jake E. Lee said that Ozzy had sent him a text, you know, his former guitar player, if you don't know, and said, Jake, he says, I'm so sorry I wasn't able to spend any time with you. It was just so crazy. He said, as soon as I get back to LA, he says, I'm coming and we're gonna hang out with each other and make up for lost times. And Jake said that was the last text he got. Said he sent a text back to Ozzy and it never answered. Well, he says he knows why now. He obviously fallen ill by that point. But I give Iommi Geezer and Bill Ward so much credit for allowing Ozzy to do that too, you know?
Yep.
I mean, there definitely had been some bad blood years ago, but I don't think there was any bad blood left with those four guys. And it just warms my heart that they got to go on stage and close that show out. The original band.
Yep.
It's almost make me want to cry thinking about it. How what an epic moment that was.
I'm glad you talked me into coming down and seeing it too, dude.
Told you, I said you got to come down. You're like,
Because
oh,
I wasn't gonna go down. I was like, oh, I'll see the highlights or whatever. But
remember we were gonna tape the show. I said, wait till Metallica gets on stage, and we'll do whatever we're. Oh, we were gonna test. That's what we're doing a test run.
yeah, we were
I said,
testing one of the
I
other
said, I don't care
programs.
about Metallica. Wait till they go on, and we'll do our test. And I said, Metallica's over, so you need to come down here, man. And that's when you said, okay, I'll come down.
Yeah, and I'm glad I did, man. it was a
You would have been kicking yourself.
it was a sight to see for sure.
And it just warms my heart that Zach was there with him too when they did the Ozzy part.
Yeah.
Because I've always been fascinated with Zach Wild. I don't know why, but I just always thought he was a cool fucking dude, man. Always like,
Changed a lot over the years.
yeah,
When he first shit, he was what, 17 when he started with
young,
Ozzy?
youngling, yes.
It's like
But
shit.
watching all these concerts before Ozzy had passed, I will definitely say of all the guitar players besides Randy, Zach was the one, man.
Yeah.
He made those songs his. Love Jakey Lee. Um, I think if Jake had stayed with Ozzy, he would, it would have probably been, he'd have been just as legendary, but after he left, he did that Badlands album and it was a big hit. And then they did a second and they just faded away. But I just love Zach Wild. And in December at that Tannehill place in the stockyards we always say we are going to go
Yeah.
to,
Oh yeah.
Zach Sabbath is playing and I'm going to that.
When is it?
December 16th. I almost want to say the date is.
Oh, okay. Fuck, I'll go.
I don't care what it costs. I want to see Zach playing Sabbath songs. What is more appropriate? Nothing. If anybody's going to play Sabbath, Zach has earned the right to be Sabbath now. Do you agree?
Oh yeah, for sure. I've seen some videos of it. They sound great.
Zach sounds like Ozzy.
When he sings, yeah, he
Yeah,
can, yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
And have a fake English accent like some people we know. He but he sounds a lot like his boss Ozzy. What?
Oh, I'm sorry. That's funny.
Zach does a good job with it, so I would not mind going to see that.
Yeah, that would be cool, man. I'll
And
go.
I have been listening to Black Sabbath and Ozzy nonstop since this news hit. The Sirius XM channel, which is Ozzy's Boneyard, have played nothing but Ozzy and Sabbath. They started the day playing like covers, like they did the Planet Caravan from Pantera. So they've had everybody on there. I was listening to Billy Corgan, who I've really got a lot of respect for now. Dude's fucking great, man. He's
He's got a
talking
cool
about Ozzy.
podcast too.
I know, and he said that this is another breaking news. He said that Sharon and Ozzy told him that they wanted Ozzy to go on Billy Corgan's podcast when he went home to L.A. and he said he had that scheduled. So obviously Ozzy didn't see this coming either because he was planning ahead. There's talk that he was going to actually work on another album.
Yeah.
He's got a book coming out,
And they're making that concert into a movie.
and it needs to be. I mean, nobody wants to sit through that whole 10-hour thing. They need to cut it down and just,
Well,
you
they're
know,
gonna make it more of a documentary, I think,
yeah.
too. Show like a lot of the backstage stuff that went on and
I didn't pull my Sabbath DVDs out, but I've got one called The Last Supper, and it was one of the reunions with all four original guys, and a lot of people got mad because it would show the concert, then it would stop, and it would having them talk to each other, and I thought it was great the way they did that. They were joking with Ozzy. They're like, "Well, yeah, you was sort of pissed at us." He said, "Yeah." He said, "Y'all fucking fired me." He said, "But I don't care anymore." He said, "That's been so long ago. I'm done with all that." So it was just funny to hear Ozzy. He's like, "I don't care anymore." He said, "Y'all went y'all's way, I went mine." And I love Black Sabbath. I love Tony Iommi. I love the 80s era of Black Sabbath. But fuck, Ozzy won that one, man. Good
yeah.
example, Geezer Butler joining the Ozzy Osbourne band for No Rest for the Wicked tour. That's got to be, there's your buddy who helped fire you, and now you give him a job. That's got to be rewarding for Ozzy after, he was let go. Nothing against Geezer. I know he needed a job, but it just seems rewarding that, it and I think they all were in a really good place. And obviously they had the issues with Bill on that last final Sabbath tour, but I don't know that Bill Ward could have pulled that tour off, honestly. I just don't think he would have made it through it without getting sick again. So I think it worked out well. And he ended up playing the last show ever, and that was perfect. Then he took his shirt off.
Yep. He didn't give a fuck. Titties hanging out.
I just don't think he could have took that schedule because they did like two different legs of that tour in America.
Yeah.
Because I saw the one, then they played in Dallas, and I didn't even go to the Dallas show because I'd already seen them. I think we went to Austin for that. Me and Beeson.
But yeah, I think Bill probably has took it harder than anybody because him and Ozzy were buddies. It was always him and Bill and Geezer and Tony. They hung out together.
And they showed a picture when they were at dinner, like, before the concert, and they were right back like it was. It was Geezer and looked like he's showing Iommi something on his phone, and Bill and Ozzy were together. And they asked Iommi or Geezer one, they said, why did Bill Ward never play much in Sabbath after Ozzy left? And they said he just didn't like Sabbath without Ozzy. It just wasn't the same for him.
Yep.
I know when Geezer had rejoined, it was after Dio had left. They did a South American tour, and they brought Bill Ward as their drummer. So you had Iommi, Geezer, and Bill Ward with Tony Martin, and I guess it was going really good, but Bill just didn't want to do it without Ozzy. So,
yep, he was true to his friend for sure.
Friend, yeah, he was indeed.
Well, I think Christine's the only one that's been watching us. I can't even see how many viewers we got.
I don't know. Oh, this is cool. We have a guest here with us.
I can't see nothing.
You can come in.
Yeah.
She can't.
Four people are watching right now.
Yeah, Kelly did get engaged.
I wish
Scarlett.
I wish why don't any of the other three?
Scarlett was making us some pictures.
For the Honk convention.
Did you make a picture of Ozzy?
Yeah. I guess she did. There it is.
Oh, that looks like a ghost to me.
That's Ozzy now. I got
Ozzy.
It's a ghost.
I got an evil eyeball.
No,
Ooh.
yeah, let me show them. Let me show them.
Okay. She wants to show.
Here's the.
We got the eyeball.
Here's the April. Ooh, wrong one. Here's the Dark City with blood.
Dark City with blood.
Ooh.
And here's my favorite one.
And here's the Ouija board.
Oh, that's cool.
Good job, Scarlett. Okay, bye.
The bloody dark city, huh?
Bloody Dark City. Sounds like something out of a Black Sabbath song, doesn't it?
Yeah, sort of. Oh shit.
That reminds me that we do got to get up and go to the convention early in the morning. So
yeah, I know. We can't stay on her too much longer. A couple minutes, maybe.
I think I've done a majority of the talking, so I'm gonna give you a chance to say your piece.
Ain't nothing really to say other than what you've already said.
I didn't mean to take the whole thing over.
He's gonna be, fucking Ozzy, dude.
I see you're flashing now, by the way.
I
just now noticed it.
Yeah,
lightning machine.
Got to do something with that too, but he sort of made me who I am today, in a way.
I would say he had a lot to do with me turning into a metalhead, really. Motley Crue, probably Judas Priest, and Ozzy. But Ozzy being the primary antagonist of it, and then probably a little bit later, Megadeth and Metallica as I got older, and Maiden. But Ozzy was it.
Well, like I said, I heard the first Black Sabbath album. I don't know how the hell it was in my mom's record collection. And I think it was an original printing too, from 68 or whatever, 69.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how the hell it got in her record collection, But I pulled that out and put it on the record player one day, because I thought, oh, the album cover's cool, like what is this? A fucking Halloween album or whatever?
Right? It's what, and it starts out like a Halloween album. Even.
Yep, exactly. And I was like, what the hell is this? And I love that shit, man. First time hearing it, it's like, and I think I'd maybe heard like Paranoid on the radio,
Yeah, Paranoid was definitely a popular song.
Before that, because I think I was 8 first time I heard that first Sabbath album, and just the whole thing is just so dark and brooding, and sort of scared the shit out of me.
That's what I like about the first album. And even the next two, they're just real dark and dreary. And then after that, they just sort of got away from the dark. I think that's why I sort of lost interest in some of the later Sabbath albums. But I'm gonna tell you what, I've been listening to the shit out of them the last 2, 3 days. I've got Never Say Die memorized at this point. But yeah, those first albums were just dark and evil.
That Never Say Die album, they played a little faster on that album,
They did.
like that Johnny Blade song or whatever that it
They're
is.
playing Johnny Blade on XM radio yesterday.
That's fast for Sabbath.
Christine said there wouldn't be heavy metal without him. Well, there wouldn't be heavy metal without Black Sabbath. You got to include all four of those guys in that one because they all
Exactly.
played a role. And it's not a probably known to a lot, but Ozzy did not write lyrics. All the Black Sabbath lyrics Geezer Butler wrote.
Yeah.
Ozzy just wasn't a lyricist, but he was. Zach Wilde, again, bringing up Zach, said that a lot of people give Ozzy hell for that, but he said they don't realize that Ozzy had more to do with those songs than because he said an example is War Pigs. He said the way Ozzy sung it, he said he sung it a certain way. Generals gathered in their masses. He said somebody that could have been sung completely different, and the song would have lost its meaning. So Zach said anybody that gives Ozzy hell for not being a musician or a lyricist, they just don't know what the fuck they're talking about. And I thought, you know what, Zach, you're right. Ozzy did play a big role in that stuff.
Yeah.
So credit to Ozzy there. As I've gave Ozzy a lot of hell for not writing his own shit. But Elvis Presley never wrote a song in his life, I don't think. So, And the more I think about it now, after Ozzy left, I almost think maybe Black Sabbath should have changed their name. What do you think of that? Because it's completely different after Ozzy left.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't either.
That was Tony's baby. I don't think he was gonna let that die.
Yeah. I'm just saying, the more I think about it now, after that last Sabbath album, it doesn't sound the same ever again. I mean, it gets heavier, it gets darker. They put some really heavy shit out, with Dio. So I don't know, man. I love all eras of Sabbath, but I just have so much more respect for the original band after this all happened. Seeing the final show and then this Ozzy passing and the way the other three reacted, it's just given me such more respect for what they accomplished and what they did.
It's just been a lot the last few days, man.
Yeah.
Been a lot.
I could tell Ozzy stories all night if I was allowed to.
Yeah, we better get off of here. We got to get up early.
Yeah.
I got to get up and make lunch.
Well, I'm going to be going and buying lunch. I'm walking for my lunch.
You're walking for your lunch?
Yeah.
Where are you walking to?
Toyota Music Center. There's a pizza place right there at it.
Oh.
And there's a barbecue place on the other side.
They didn't give us a free ticket this year for the Roach coaches. Oh well.
Good. I never used. I've still got both of them. I thought they were cool wooden nickels. But
Well,
yeah,
all right.
I could talk on about this for 12 hours. I'm sure maybe when we do the next Evil talk with Greg, we'll probably get into a little bit more Ozzy talk.
Yeah, we're doing that the 23rd of August too.
And we'll
23rd,
have a
23rd.
special guest with us on that show.
Yeah, we are from a pretty well-known band, so
Yeah.
we'll announce that closer to we get to it.
Yeah, that's
So
still a secret. We have secrets. Well, hopefully this once you watch this back, it turns out pretty good. We had to start over because everything went to hell on the first take.
yeah,
I'm
it's
always bragging,
deleted.
oh, we could do anything live. We don't ever fuck up, but we fucked this one up. But I think it turned out okay.
Because I tried doing that damn intro first.
I think that's what
Zoom just don't work the
it
way. And I don't like that there's the Zoom logo on the live stream either.
I don't like that either.
Bugs the shit out of me. I got to figure out if I can get that off there. They should let us not be able to take it off as much money as we fucking pay them.
Yeah.
Fuckers.
Well, we're gonna end this Ozzy episode and get ready for our Texas Hunters convention, and I'm sure there'll be more Ozzy talk coming from us. I mean, Ozzy um, will always be remembered in my house. Always.
Same here. Same here.
The yeah, it was tough on me. This was a
Me
tough one.
too. Tougher than Dio too, for sure.
I love Ronnie, but Ronnie wasn't Ozzy. Ronnie was a, let me put it this way, Ronnie was a better singer. He was a better guy. He was just a good dude. But Ozzy was just Ozzy.
Yeah,
That's all there is to it.
exactly.
You he was the greatest. He wasn't the best singer. He couldn't write songs, but he didn't have to. He didn't. Gene, I got to bring Gene up. I can't end it without bringing.
Yeah,
He
he
said,
did. He did a couple of good interviews I seen.
Gene said that Ozzy was created by Ozzy. That there was no inspiration. He said he didn't draw, inspiration from this or from that. He said this was something he invented is completely. And
Yeah,
Ozzy never really. He says, I'm going to tell you, Gene. He said we fought a lot of the trends. He said Ozzy didn't do that. Well, he might have during the '80s with some of the glammier stuff. But yeah, he didn't do disco songs, is what Gene was saying, like Kiss did.
yeah,
So Gene seemed really tore up about it too.
yeah. He was tearing up on Pierce Morgan.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
So the demon gave lots of praise to the Prince of Darkness.
yep. All right, we
We'll end
better
it
get
now.
off here, man. I gotta hit the sack
I probably won't. I'll
and
get up.
ice my knee some more.
I'll be half
Well,
asleep.
thanks for coming on, Christine. Our lowly viewer.
Well, like I said, I really wasn't doing this to get a bunch of chats. I just wanted to come on and do it since it's the day before the convention and people can replay it and watch it whenever they want to.
Uh, yeah, maybe we'll get some views on this after I get on there and rename it and all that.
Yeah.
All right.
If this will be on the audio portion or not, I don't care one way or the other. That you're the
Yeah, I might put it
show.
out. I might put it out like Monday, something like
It's
that.
your show, not mine. Not mine.
All right. Well, that is it.